Is it working? NRL Fanatics here, back today with a special guest, and he's been welcome enough to join me. This is for the NRL tips for round 16. It's going to be a very big weekend of footy. It's great to have the footy back after a rest last week of no games. So yeah, Sam Revill's a massive Cowboys fan. He's been welcome enough to join me on the channel today. So Sam, why don't you introduce yourself and how long you've been a Cowboys fan, and you do have a YouTube channel as well, I believe. So, welcome to the channel, and great to have you on.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. It's an honor. You're one of the reasons why I got into the YouTube community. I only started doing it this year, but I've been a Cowboys supporter since day one, ever since I can remember, mate. And I've been a member with the Cowboys since 2015, and it's been a blast so far this year. I've met you, I've met Entertain House, NRL Vid 090, and I'm stoked. But it's such a massive weekend of footy coming up, mate.
Yeah, it's a massive weekend, and I'm very looking forward to it. Obviously, last week, we had the State of Origin, we had the Women's State of Origin as well on the Friday night. So, look, there was a massive gap between the games, which I thought, they probably should have had some international footy on as well, but they didn't do it. But to get back into the NRL action, I'm looking forward to it. So, the first game starts on Thursday. It's the 1st of July. The Roosters versus the Melbourne Storm, and this game was originally scheduled to be played at the Sydney Cricket Ground, but obviously due to the COVID-19 problems, it's been moved to McDonald Jones Stadium up there in Newcastle. So, what is your thoughts on this game? How do you think this game's going to go? Because I should be a great game actually between these two teams.
Yeah, there's always a bit of pepper whenever these two clubs meet. The earlier match this season was a bit of a fizzer though, but it is one of the better rivalries in NRL, modern day rivalries. So just on some of the stats that I've just written down here, Satili Tupanua, he's playing his 50th game this Thursday night. Melbourne Storm, they haven't played at McDonald Jones Stadium since 2018, but between 15 and 18, the Melbourne Storm have won 3 on the trot at the Hunters, so they're going to go up and not really fear the joint as well. And you've got Nelson Asofa-Solomona, Eisenhuth, and Harry Grant that are out for the Melbourne Storm. Sydney Roosters, they have James Tedesco coming back, and he was obviously sensational on Sunday night. Sydney Roosters are $3.40. That's a fair old price. I can't blame anyone for backing the Roosters. But because Melbourne Storm's Origin players are all backing up this Thursday night, my tip is going to go with the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Melbourne Storm here. I reckon even with all those Origin players, they should be able to win this one. It'll be a very close one. I reckon it'll be definitely a close one. But what's your margin? What you think Melbourne Storm will win by, and who you time try scorers?
I'll go Melbourne Storm 13 plus. Not a massive victory, but just 13 plus. I'll just go Josh Addo-Carr, really. How can you go past him after the performance he put in on Sunday? I'll go Josh Addo-Carr, anytime try scorer.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Melbourne Storm here by 12. Actually, I think Melbourne Storm by 12. Look, anytime try scorers, I'm going to go with Justin Olam, Josh Addo-Carr, and For the Sydney Roosters, I'm going to go with Daniel Tupou and Joey Manu, actually. So, yeah, those are my try scorers. I'm going to go with Melbourne Storm to win by 12. And, yeah, I reckon it'd be a very good picture. It'd be a really good game. And, yeah. So, yeah, hello to everyone that's joined. So, hello to Kurt Manchester United Fan Australia, and hello to National Sports Loaded, as well as NRL Vid 090. Thanks for joining. And, all right, to get into Friday, the 2nd of July, and it's the New Zealand Warriors up against the St. George Illawarra Dragons. Now, I'm not going to go through the game too much because I've got a preview on the channel tomorrow afternoon, live on the channel. So, yeah, I won't go through the Warriors game too much. But how do you think this one between these teams? Because, the Warriors and Dragons both need to, get wins, obviously.
I've to and froed over this match right up until about an hour ago when I saw the team lists for the first time. I was going to tip the Dragons, but Zach Lomax mysteriously hasn't been selected to play. So I don't know what's going on with his injury. But when you look at the Warriors on paper, they are a much more stronger side than St. George Illawarra, in my opinion. You've got Chad Townsend making his return for the club, and Deline Witeen-Zelezniak coming back in as well. And just on DWZ, he's on 49 tries, and if he scores a try this Friday night, he gets 50. And also you've got Aitken and Curran out as well due to the COVID situation, or the Virgin flight situation as well, which is a bugger. And they should be confident because they won their earlier clash this year against St. George Illawarra in Cogra. So, I was going to tip Saints, but I'll go the Warriors 1-12. And why not? Why not? I'll back DWZ to get his 50th try this Friday night.
Yep, sounds good. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna back my team in here. I'm gonna go with the Warriors here, but not with too much confidence right now because we've been a little bit inconsistent this year. But I'm gonna go with the Warriors too. I'm gonna go with the Warriors by 8. Anytime try scorers, I'm gonna go with DWZ. Actually, I think DWZ will go and score a try, and I'm gonna go with Ben Murdoch-Masila as well to crossover. And for the Dragons, I'm gonna go with Cody Ramsey, and this might be a out of the woods one, but I've got Jack DeBun to crossover as well for the Dragons. So, yeah, those are my tips for the games. But, yeah, moving on to the next game, and that's the Penrith Panthers versus the Parramatta Eels. It's at Bluebet Stadium up there in Penrith. Look, Panthers, obviously, a couple of injuries. Nathan Cleary is the biggest one out of them all. He's been ruled out for, I'm not too sure for how long, but, it's a bit of a blow there having him out, and Dylan Edwards is also not playing this one. But how do you see this one going? Because I reckon this will be a pretty close game. I reckon it'll be a close one between these two teams.
Yeah, in a week full of enormous stories, mate. This has all of a sudden become the biggest of the week. Nathan Cleary potentially season ending with a shoulder injury. Don't know if he'll be back by the end of the year. But when you think about it, the round 3 clash that Penrith had against the Melbourne Storm, they won. They beat the Melbourne Storm, albeit at home, without Nathan Cleary. So they're not out of championship. They're not out of the championship just yet. So when I look at the stats here, so you've got Tyrone May. He's set to play his 50th contest. And it's also an interesting period coming up as well anyway for the Penrith Panthers. Penrith have got 4 of the next 6 games away from home, and those 4 matches are against the Storm and the Roosters and the Warriors all the way from home. So it is a bit of a bumpy road for Penrith over the next few weeks. Charlie Staines has scored 17 tries in 17 games. I won't tip him to score a try on Friday night, but I'll reveal that a little bit later. So for Parramatta, Micah Sevo returns back onto the wing, pushing Sean Russell out. You've got Regan Campbell-Gillard, who was playing game 150 against his old club. So he'll be right royal and roaring this Friday night. And just another one as well, Brad Arthur, he's looking for his 100th win as Parramatta Eels coach. So for me personally, this is the game of the round. I think it'll be close as well. I hope Parramatta show up in all facets of the contest on Friday night. But with all the Origin stars backing up for Penrith and Parramatta Eels coming into this game probably a little bit more fresh than Penrith, I'll tip Penrith, but it'll be a beauty of a contest. 1-12. Anytime try scorer, it's hard to say, man. So I will go for Api Coruscant. He was 18th man for New South Wales, didn't get a second of game time, obviously. And I'll get him to scheme around the ruck and maybe even dart out from dummy half with 5 metres out to the try line. I'll go Api Coruscant, anytime try scorer. Penrith Panthers 1-12.
Yep. So, yeah, National Sports Loaded says here, I think the Eels, the Panthers here, the Eels will be serious contenders for the premiership, which is, yeah, I mean, look, I think if they can match it with Penrith or they could beat them, they could seriously put their name up for that, premiership contender sort of title sort of tag there. But I'm going with the Panthers here at home. Panthers by 10 for me. And anytime try scorers, I'm going to go with Mark Sevo and Stephen Crichton and Viliami Kikau and Hauster. Yeah, those are my anytime try scorers. And, Panthers by 10 for me. So, moving on to Saturday, the 3rd of July. It's the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs versus the Manly Sea Eagles down there at Bankwest Stadium. Look, I personally don't see this going any other way than a Manly victory, but do you see this going any other way? What's your thoughts?
I don't see it going any other way, but there's so much backstory to this clash. It's Trent Barrett's first match against Manly, so he'll be revved up for this clash as well. Canterbury Bulldogs are missing a huge chunk of players, whether it be they ignored the lockdown bubble restriction rules. Nick Chotrich as well is out, and Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs have 3 debutants for Saturday as well. And those names, they're Philippe Kiko Manu, Bailey Biondi Odo, and Chris Patolo. I hope I didn't bugger all those names up. I have to tip Sea Eagles just with all that. But Carl Lawton as well, who is an ex-Warrior, he plays his 50th match this Saturday as well. I think he's been a really good pickup for Manly. His darts out of dummy half and just aggression. He's been quite the pickup for Manly, in my opinion. This will be 13 plus to Manly. I'll go Ruben Garrick as an anytime try scorer for sure. This could be their highest accumulation of points all season if the Bulldogs aren't careful. For Manly as well. Manly by 13 plus.
Yeah, I can't really see this game going any other way, but a Manly victory here. But the Bulldogs have shown glimpses of improvement lately. So, I've gone with the Manly Sea Eagles here by 30 points. I just think they'll be far too good here for the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Anytime try scorers, I'm going to go with Tommy Trbojevic. Man, he's having a great season, Tommy Trbojevic. Great year. I reckon he'll cross over and score. And other try scorers, I'm going to go with Ruben Garrick and Brad Parker and Sean Keppie. So, who are your anytime try scorers in the game?
Yeah, it was Ruben Garrick. I'm going to go for him as an anytime try scorer. I think both edges are going to quite possibly anyway have a field day. Bulldogs also, just looking at the stats again, the Bulldogs have not beaten Manly since 2017 as well. So they're in a bit of a drought against Manly Sea Eagles, and that will continue after Saturday.
Yeah, very interesting stat there, but can't see it going any other way. Like I said, Manly should be too good for the Bulldogs there. So, Yeah, moving on to the next game. It's the second game on Super Saturday. It is the Canberra Raiders versus the Gold Coast Titans down there at GIO Stadium up there in Canberra, up your way. So, look, I found this game very, very hard to pick. I know how to get a read on both these teams. Obviously, this year, the Raiders obviously being, disappointing to say the least. I mean, I had them in my top 4 at the start of the year in my predictions for the season, but yeah, I mean, the Gold Coast Titans, they leak a lot of points. They're very they could score a lot of points, but they leak too many points. So, yeah, how do you see this one going? This one's a very, very tough one to pick, actually.
Crossing my fingers that the general public are allowed to go into GIO Stadium and check this game out. That means that I could go. This should be a really entertaining clash. The Raiders won their earlier meeting this season in Cogra. And on paper, the Titans all season, you could say, have the better strength squad, but they've gone like bustards. Meanwhile, in huge news for the Canberra Raiders, Jared Croker is returning into the squad, and that's not all. There's so much happening in this clash. So you've got Corey Thompson, who I thought was just about Gold Coast's best player before he got injured. He is playing his 100th NRL game this Saturday night. On the Raiders side of things, Jordan Rapana is playing his 150th game, and Ryan Sutton is playing his 50th game for the Raiders as well. So there are a few milestones there to tick off for both clubs, really. So you've got Jared Croker back in for the Raiders. You've got Corey Thompson, AJ Brimson, Kevin Proctor, all in for the Gold Coast Titans on that side of things. And the last time the Titans won in Canberra was way back in 2016. But when you look at the odds, at $3, the Gold Coast Titans are a cheeky old bet because both defenses are bad. But again, I think on paper they have the stronger team, the Titans. But I'll be buggered if I'll tip them for sure. So not only do you have Jared Croker returning, but I think the other milestone that would get them revved up as well is that Sam Williams is also playing his 100th game as well for the club. And when he captained the Raiders for the first time last season against Cronulla, you saw how much or how revved up the entire squad got behind Sam Williams. So I'll tip Raiders to win 1-12 with a scoreline something like 28 points to 26. It'll be close. I think it'll be a really entertaining game of footy. As an anytime try scorer, I'm going to go Bailey Simonson for the Raiders. And I really hope that the general public can get in because there's a fair bit happening in this contest, mate.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Canberra Raiders here. I think Canberra Raiders by 14 points. Now, anytime try scorers, I'm going to go with Jack Whiten next. I'm going to go with Jack Whiten to score, and Semi Valame to score as well. So, yeah, I think Raiders to win this one by 14 points. I just think the Gold Coast Titans, they just leak a lot of too many points for me. So, yeah, I think Raiders should win this one. Down there in Canberra, I think they should get up. But, yeah, moving on to the last game. Yeah, last game on Saturday. Yep. Newcastle Knights versus the North Queensland Cowboys. It's your team, the North Queensland Cowboys, and it's up there at McDonald's Stadium in Newcastle. So Newcastle get a second game of the week. So, yeah, I'll go straight to you. How do you think this one's going to go as a Cowboys fan? How do you think? Do you feel confident about the result or are you worried?
I'm always worried, mate, as a Cowboys supporter, always. Yep. This will be another really close contest as well. It's the first match against Jake Clifford as well. And so, again, if you excuse me, I'm looking at my stats again. So North Queensland's history in Newcastle, their history reads that they haven't won in Newcastle since 2015. The overall ledger is 21-20, going Newcastle's way. Kalen Ponga, another ex-North Queenslander, is back. What perfect timing that bloody is. And Kyle Felt, he's on 98 tries as well, so he's only 2 tries away to getting to the century. So I don't think I'll tip him for an anytime try scorer this weekend anyway. And as an accumulative, the past 2 visits the Cowboys have had to Newcastle, the score reads 54-6 basically, 54-6 in their past 2 visits to Newcastle. So it's been a bit of a graveyard for him in recent seasons, hasn't it? But I'm going to tip North Queensland Cowboys anyway. They're going to have their Origin stars back up. They're coming off the bye after a controversial, to say the least, a controversial loss to Cronulla. They've had the bye. They're going to come out firing, and their defense is going to be solid. And Ponga, I mean, he's an absolute superstar, but it might take him a little while to knock the rust off. And as an anytime try scorer, I think Jake Granville, who re-signed with the club for another season with an option for a second, I think he'll be revved up, and I think Jake Granville will score for the Cowboys, and Cowboys will win 1-12.
Yeah, look, I love to. This was actually another hard game to call. Actually, look, unfortunately, look, for your sake, I'm going to have to go against you here. First, I'm going against you.
What you got to do?
This stream tonight. Yeah, I'm going to go against you here. Actually, the Cowboys could definitely off. I'm not getting it off, but yeah, I pick Newcastle here at home. I'm going to go to Newcastle Knights, but not in a high-scoring game. I reckon it'll be pretty close. I'll follow the Newcastle Knights here by 4, actually. So, yeah, Newcastle Knights by 4 for me. And anytime try scorers, I'm going to go with Heimel Hunt and Kalen Ponga on return, actually. I think Kalen Ponga could score a try on this one. So, yeah, Kalen Ponga and Heimel Hunt and Newcastle to get the victory there. But, yeah, moving on to Sunday, the 4th of July, it's the Brisbane Broncos versus the Cronulla Sharks at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Now, look, I don't have much to say about this game because, you know, the Brisbane Broncos, look, they have been pretty average this year, pretty ordinary. They've been ordinary for the last year as well. So, yeah, how do you see this one going? I personally think it's going to go Cronulla's way. I think Cronulla will win, but how do you see it going?
I think it could be a danger game for the Sharkies this weekend. There are a few big outs, though, for the Broncos. One of them is Tavita Pangai Jr., and the other is an ex-Cowboy in John Asiata, who's got neck surgery and may miss the rest of the season as well. So with some of the stats here again, so Tony Staggs, Corey Oates, Croft, and Gamble, they're all back in. And to be honest with you, mate, I know that Staggs scored a wonder try, or a couple of them last season, and one of them, I think, ironically enough, is against the Sharkies. But off the top of my head, man, I don't remember how good Tony Staggs actually is, and I don't know how much of a difference he's actually going to make this Sunday when he comes back after so long out of the game. So he's going to be playing in the centres as well. So for the Sharks as well, Blake Brayley plays his 50th game as well. So you'd think he'd be charged up for it as well. But I think someone, and probably the player of the round, who's going to be the most fired up is Ronaldo Mulitalo, who obviously got half the sack on Sunday night for Queensland. I think he'll come out. I think he'll be an anytime try scorer. He'll get his try at Suncorp. It's ironic he's playing at Suncorp as well. But I am going to tip the Sharks 1-12. Ronaldo Mulitalo as an anytime try scorer. But Brisbane Broncos, they're coming off the bye as well. So you'd hope, or at least Broncos fans would hope, that they're fired up. And it could be a danger game for the Sharkies on a rare Sunday afternoon game for Brisbane fans. But I'll tip Cronulla.
Yep. I'm going to tip Cronulla Sharks here, but, Brisbane could possibly turn up. They've had a lot of pressure on them. This year they've had a lot of pressure on them. There's all sorts of talks around, their club at the moment. But, yeah, I'll go with the Cronulla Sharks here. I think they'll win this game by 16 points. I think they should be far too good here for Brisbane. Anytime try scorers, I'm going to go with a Brisbane player, actually. Going to go with Herbie Farnworth and Tony Staggs, actually. Tony Staggs to cross over. And for the Sharks, I'm going to go with William Kennedy for the Sharks as fullback. So, yeah, I reckon the Sharks should win this one over the Brisbane Broncos. But I would not be surprised if an upset does happen because, Brisbane, obviously, they need to start getting some so they cannot finish with the wooden spoon again like they did last season. So, yeah, they're in that precarious position with the Bulldogs for that battle for the spoon, which, they want to make sure they don't get this year. But, yeah, I've gone with the Sharks to win this one. I think they'll be too good for the Brisbane Broncos. So, yeah, moving on to the next game, and it's the West Tigers against the South Sydney Rabbitohs at Leichhardt Oval. Unfortunately, no crowds. So, yeah, it's just such a shame because, Leichhardt Oval is always a traditional ground and always a lot of people, make the trip up there. They make the trip and watch the games up there. But, yeah, how do you see this one? I think it's not going to go one-way traffic for me. How do you see it going?
It is a massive shame, mate. Benji Marshall makes his return to Leichhardt Oval, and there'll be no crowd there for him. And it may be his last game there or opportunity to play at Leichhardt too. So that is a massive, massive shame. And I agree with you too, mate. I can't see any points coming for the West Tigers, man. Besides the fact that Moses Mbai, he plays his 150th game this Sunday. South Sydney Rabbitohs, they last played at Leichhardt Oval all the way back in 2007, and they won that game 37 points to 12. I am going to tip South Sydney by 13 plus. West Tigers are $7 to South Sydney's $1. And as an anytime try scorer, I mean, I'll back Mbai as well to be a try scorer, but Latrell Mitchell, man, he, in my opinion, I thought he was the man of the match for the State of Origin. He was so effective every time he got near the sodden ball, and I think that it could be the catapult for him and South Sydney to make a huge tilt at the title as well. So I'm going to tip South Sydney by 13 plus, but I'll go Mbai as an anytime try scorer in his 150th.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the South Sydney Rabbitohs here by 24 points. Just think they're far too good for the West Tigers there up there at Leichhardt Oval. Look, even though it's a home game for the Tigers there, but they won't have the crowd advantage and all that. So, yeah, I mean, Rabbits should win this. They should win this rather comfortably over the West Tigers there at Leichhardt. And on try scorers, look, I'm going to go with Latrell. He had a great origin the other night. So, yeah, Latrell Mitchell to score, Alex Johnston and Cody Walker as well. So, yeah, I just can't see anything other than a Rabbitohs win here. So, yeah, so up now, and I'd like to thank Sam for coming on the channel. Thanks for coming on, and yeah, any last words, before the weekend of footy?
No, thank you so much for having me on, mate. I've had so much fun, and I hope we can do this again. And yeah, no, go Cowboys, mate. Go Cowboys. And again, thank you so much for having me on, man.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for coming on, and thanks everyone for tuning in as well. Thanks for watching tonight, and yeah, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. Make sure you're liking the stream as well, and yeah, thanks for watching this live tipping video with Sam Revill. Go check it out as well. Go check out his YouTube channel. Go subscribe to his channel, and yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Between the New Zealand Warriors and the Forgot now. And who are they playing? They're in the oh fuck, I've forgotten. Yeah, that's right. They're playing the oh, sorry, forgot it now. The Dragons, yeah, the Dragons. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, forgot the Dragons. Bit of a lost spine tonight, but yeah, we're playing the Dragons. So yeah, tune in for that one preview on tomorrow afternoon. But thanks, guys, for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon, and see you guys soon for another video. Thanks, guys.